House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has left Taiwan. During her visit, she expressed U.S. support for the democratic island. She also took a jab directly at Chinese Communist Party leader Xi Jinping. Here's a closer look at her trip.
U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi departed Taiwan on Wednesday. That's after her historic meeting with the Taiwanese president and lawmakers in the Taiwanese parliament. When asked about whether her visit provoked the Chinese Communist Party leader and China's aggressive rhetoric, here's what Pelosi had to say.
But it also is about our shared values of democracy and freedom and how Taiwan has been an example to the world in that regard. And whether it's certain insecurities on the part of the president of China as to his own political situation that he's rattling a saber, I don't know. But it doesn't really matter. What matters to us is that we salute the successes of Taiwan.
Head of the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, Xi Jinping is set to secure a third term in power later this year, breaking long-standing precedent. Though he currently faces internal political pressure due to self-inflicted economic struggles tied to pandemic policy and worsening international relations for the regime, Pelosi may have added to the regime's distress. During her visit, she also met with representatives from human rights groups who face suppression or persecution from the Chinese regime. Among them, Tibetans as well as Hong Kong and Tiananmen Square dissidents. She also waved off China's military response to her visit, saying whatever China was going to do, they'll do in their own good time. Chinese state media have announced missile tests and military drills that will encircle Taiwan, complete with live ammunition. That's within minutes of Pelosi's landing on the island. State media also aired footage of the drills and shared a map of their locations. The moves have raised concerns about a possible blockade around Taiwan, which many believe would be the CCP's first step in a potential invasion. But when asked if the U.S. and China are close to conflict, Congressman Adam Kinzinger argues if there's escalation, it's on Beijing.
I think we're closer every day. I don't think it's necessarily related to this. It's related to China's desire to take Taiwan. It's just like Russia and Ukraine. And so, yeah, I think every day we're closer. I think, frankly, conflict is very likely, not necessarily in the near future, but at some point in the future. And this is why standing up with strength and making it clear that we will defend our friends, I think is important to mitigate that possibility.
Aside from military aggression, an expert warns that the CCP can also use trade to threaten Taiwan and the world.
Well, economic coercion is important. The more economically successful Taiwan is, separate of China's economic engine, the more vitality and independence with a small I Taiwan has, the more ability it has for self-determination. The more that China can constrict that by pressuring the island and pressuring global markets and global businesses not to engage the island, the more they can make the case or press Taiwan to engage China economically. And that, of course, equips China then to leverage that economic dependency into political concessions. So that I think is the longer-term concern.
Following Pelosi's visit, the Chinese regime also banned the import of more than 100 Taiwanese food products, including a number of popular brands. Though the regime has fallen short of taking any of the actual military actions it vowed prior to Pelosi's visit.